All right. Well, everybody, welcome to Let's Talk. This is an addition to I Am Magneticor, and there are three of us Magneticor coaches here in the room today. I'm Corey Threewing, and I'm with Sarah Lockhart and Laura McDonald Flint, and we've been working together on coaching and doing coaching stuff and creating some content and opening up some pretty amazing conversations so that we can explore them and learn them well together. A little bit about the session today. We are recording the session. So what that means is, if you would all be so kind, is to keep yourselves on mute so that we've got a really good sound quality until you desire to speak with us. As well, if you do not wish to be filmed, you can turn your camera off. That will also let us know not to call on you live in the session if we have some dialogue that happens. It's just also a little bit of acknowledgement and permission around what we're doing here today and using our images. So thank you for that. Our topic today is creation, tension, imagination, and the pleasure of creative intention, the pleasure of non-resistant creation. What is it to be in pleasure, to not have resistance around creation? Right. And so as we start to get into some of this today, I've got a couple of main points, and so creation being a main point, tension being a main point, and imagination being a main point, right? And so as we get into creation, like, what is it to create? I think that's kind of a fun thing to ask, like, what is the power of creation? What is the pleasure of unresistant thought? I'm going to say that again. The pleasure of unresistant thought. What is it to create? Now, this is something I like to think about a lot, is that we all create with every breath we take. We manifest what we think about. We bring into fruition, into our tangible reality, the things that are in our mind, what has our focus, and so as we go on this little journey today, I want to talk about what it is to choose what we think about, what it is to choose the creation, what it is to create, how thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. Yeah, like our current reality right now is here to prove to us that what we were thinking about 6 months ago, a year ago, and those kinds of things are here now. And as we step into conscious creation, what are we going to create with that? What do we get to create with that? And what is the emotional field that we get to use as tools as we create with that? Now, everybody is already a creative master. And that's one of the things I really wanted to hit real quick at the top of this, is that every one of us is a master already. We've been creating since we got here, with every breath and every thought, right? So as we move forward, about actually choosing what's going to have our focus so that we actually are in control and want to make things happen. I think it's a fun thing to jump into. Yes, are you creating? And what are you creating? And so I want to throw it over to Sarah for a second. It's like, past realities. Are we still creating the problems that we're solving? Sarah, what do you have to say? Jump in here with me.
Well, I'm just listening to all of that, and you're like, what are we creating? And so, well, we're always creating, right? You're always creating something. And so, as everyone has heard quite regularly, what you think about, you bring about. So what are you thinking about? And if you're thinking about the problems, are you in fact creating more problems than you're solving? Because if you're focused on problems and you're fixing problems, you're also creating problems. And you need to have a problem there to solve. If that's your orientation, if that's what you're doing, is fixing problems, there always must be a problem there to fix. So it's really interesting to think about, what are you creating? And like, just if somebody's not really sold on the idea that they are creating, in all moments of their life, and what they think about, they bring about. If you were to visit yourself 12 months ago, like this version of you right here, right now, goes and visits you on this day in 2020, and you told your previous self from last year what this year was going to look like and what exactly January 2021 had to offer, you would probably not really understand how that could happen,
myself.
right? And so if you don't know,
So I created myself.
even though it's almost inconceivable how it would happen, you tell yourself, okay, people are in masks and there was like political stuff going on, and 2020 was just off the chain, worldwide, like ban on travel, and all of the public spaces were emptied out and people weren't going outside. Like, no, not, no. I mean,
Oh shit. We just muted you, Sarah. Sorry about that.
I saw it.
So sorry.
Oh, that wasn't very subtle, Corey.
I know, I was admitting somebody else in the room and I hit the wrong button. So
Oh,
sorry,
too
Sarah.
funny. So yeah, I just, if you were to imagine your own reaction a year ago to what your reality is now, it would be inconceivable how you could get from January 2020 all the way to January 2021. How did we get there in 1 year? But we did, and how doesn't matter that much. There's problems focused on, problems created, more problems created on top of that. The how takes care of itself. So what we would like to talk about is, what if you focused, like deliberately chose, consciously focused on creating something instead of looking at problems, instead of being in a problem solving orientation? That's a full 180. Just if you just set the problem down for a minute and turned around and set your sights on what you want. If you can conceive it, you might not see how it could happen, but it's happened before. So the whole subconscious, all of those little part-time personalities, they can all take a seat, because you've just considered that some unimaginable things have happened in the course of a year that you didn't see coming. So why not something good that you didn't see coming? Why not something on purpose that you made it show up? So when it comes to creation, for me, you are looking at something that you want. And when you get yourself lined up to that, and you're not worried about manifesting more problems, solving problems, and being in that state of mind, and you're focused on what you want, that lining up to that desired reality is what's going to add velocity to the manifestation, to bringing about what you're doing. It's going to add fuel to the fire. It's going to get you in motion. It's going to inspire you, because it creates a path of least resistance.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. Sarah, as we were preparing for this, there was a couple of things that came up. Like you said to me, like, be careful of what you wish for. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing to think about that. Are we still coming from a place of reaction, right? Are we creating problems? Are we creating reactions? Because it's when our mind is where our focus is on. The polarity of creation. Are we creating from a reactionary point of view, building more things to solve? Or the other side of that, are we stepping into creation and doing it consciously? Right? This is when we choose what to focus on, right? And so I think a lot of why we're doing this here today is because we want to inspire you guys to imagine what it would be like if dot, dot, dot. What would it be like if your dreams were to come true? What would it be like to actually step into a vision of a dream come manifest before it's here? Like, how do we do this work? How do we do that? What would it be like to feel your dreams exist in the here and now, today, right now? Let's step into some dreaming right now. You know, it says we choose a new focus, right? As we practice our ability to flex our focus skills so that we hone those skills, we get better at those skills. Then we can start creating a vision, a dream of that vision, right? Which then turns into a plan, right? Now all of a sudden we've got some action steps that we can follow. Something to help keep us in alignment, help us to keep in this new habit, this new flexing identity of conscious creator as opposed to reactor creator, right? You know, and so from there, I kind of want to jump a little bit into, let's move along. I want to move along a little quickly today so that we stay within the hour, but I want to start thinking about tension. Okay, now we're talking creation. We've had a little bit of a refresher course on coming from maybe an old mindset into a new mindset. What's possible now? Who do we want to evolve into? What are the things we want to create? And now the tension that makes it possible. You know, and so now there's the path of least resistance. You know, and then of course the work of Robert Fritz, that book of the same title. You know, and he's one of, you know, Chris Duncan's mentors, and we keep, you know, there's a lot of reference to the science of how the energy or tension follows the path of least resistance. We talk about the path of least resistance in the metaphors of creation in, all right, let's look at the gopher field of where our resistance pops up. Is it the perfectly flat field from one side to the other goal on the other end, right? That's a pathway. All of a sudden there's creative tension and structure there. Or is it the river with the banks that hold the flowing water, that then the boulder of resistance pops up, and then we work on that boulder to remove that resistance. But we have the tension, we have the structure, the tension. It's this tension and the structure that makes things possible, right? New neural pathways, right? All of a sudden when we dream and then redream again, we dream, then redream. We focus and then focus some more. We continue this work, this repetitive work. And then what happens in our mind, these little neurons start to grow, this new excitement. We're stimulated. All of a sudden these things are happening, and then they grow and then they find each other, and they build information bridges that create values and behaviors. You know, I think there's some really fun stuff there. You know, Sarah, you want to throw anything down about some neural pathways?
Well, you know, when you're talking about creating something and you're talking about creating a new desired reality, I mean, really, what does that mean? I mean, that's like it's a little bit vague, even in its specificity. Like it's a desired reality, but the how and the what and exactly, like, what does that look like in the real world? What does it look like in my life? Because that's really what I care about.
Yeah.
I want to know what it looks like in my life. And if I want something different, and I'm like, okay, well, I get the problem thing, and I'm not going to do a problem. I'm going to think up a new thing, and that's what I want. And that's what I want. And the key element that is so overlooked and so undermentioned by all of the common wisdom and advice is that element of the feeling. Like, if you're looking for a new true choice, you're looking for, what am I going to create? I'm going to create, let's say I'm going to create a new home. Because who doesn't like a new house? Like, that's a safe, like, that's a good, I get a thumbs up on that, right? Everybody be like, yeah, get a new house. I'd have all kinds of support. So I'm imagining the house and the colors of it, all these details of the house. But before you do that part, it's so key that you need to pause and consider that really, if we're being truthful, we're not really looking for the thing. We're looking for the feeling that that thing's going to give us. So are we wanting to be proud? Are we wanting to be held in high regard? Are we looking to be feel peace? Are we looking to feel accomplishment? Are we looking for a satisfaction? Like, what is it? And okay, I just threw out a whole bunch of emotion words, and not everybody's got a whole lot of feeling words. But, you know, if you're working with mad, sad, glad, and bad, there's some other ones, lots and lots of other ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in a few minutes, I'm going to send you this. It's an image file. It's a diagram, and it's called the emotion wheel. And it takes you from the inside where you're like mad, sad, glad, and bad, right? Or I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm happy. What kind of happy? Do you know, there's like all of these little extra bits, the different versions of happy, these little ways of happy. And you can get really specific and you can dig around on the wheel, and maybe it will conjure up some of the ingredients for how you want to feel, because you never just want to feel one little thing, right? Oh, I like to be peaceful to the exclusion of everything, or like, you got to be careful what you wish for, right? So take a look at the wheel. Over the next few days, take a look at the wheel. It's going to be in the Super Conscious Creators, and kind of put together the ingredients of like the great feeling that you would have when you have the reality you want. And that exercise, knowing what that is, and then you have that very clear associated sensation of having it right now, but it's that point in the future. And so you load yourself, step into that future point, you load yourself into that slingshot, then yank yourself back, and that's going to propel you right back to where you started, because you want that feeling. So it's very, very absolutely key to get a lock on how you want to feel before you do anything else. And that is really not always the easiest pursuit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a not, right? Corey, like you get into this, I just don't want to feel, I just don't want to. And that's not good enough, guys. Like, I'm going to give you a whole wheel of words.
Right.
But it can't be a not. It's got to be, look on the opposite side of the wheel. If it's not this, go to the other side, polarity, right? You don't want to be angry. You want to be happy. Okay, well, you don't want resentment. Then maybe you're looking for joy. Do you see there's a polarity to the feelings as well. So you can line up, because the resentment, that's a problem. You turn your back to the resentment, you're headed straight for joy on the other side of that wheel. So it's a really excellent tool when you're digging around for, when Chris asks you, what do you want to create?
Yeah.
When we ask you,
yeah,
what would you really love? You can figure it out.
Well, I think we're here today to answer some of those questions. What do you want to create, and what do you really love? And calling into the spotlight the role of emotions, the toolbox of emotions, right? Or maybe the menu of emotions, right? It's super easy for us to like, somebody asks you where you are and what you want, and then automatically you can do a detailed list of what you don't want easily. Well, I don't want XYZ. And that's an opportunity to switchcraft that around and step into, all right, well, then what are you really saying? Right? Because if we're focused on what we don't want, we're going to get more of what we don't want. So let's switchcraft that around, put it across the emotion wheel to the other side to say, all right, what I really desire, what I would really enjoy, what would be useful to me now, what would be a skill that would come in handy to me now, and then to feel those things. Choose the emotions and then experience the emotions. We, as we're doing our dream work, we create the dream and then we imagine it to be true and then try on what it would be like to have that dream manifest right here, right now, right? Now, so this is what we call dreaming with intention. We're going to dream. We want to dream our dream, but all right, how can we add some jet fuel, some superpowers, some glitter and unicorns and rainbows to our ability to dream? Right? How can we take the toolbox of our emotions and make them super useful, efficient, in a timely manner with ease and grace, perhaps, and to make our dreams manifest here and now? I love to ask for things with ease and grace, because sometimes we ask for a big thing and then boom, it just shows up gigantically and we weren't quite ready. But ease and grace is kind of a nice little transition there, but dreaming with intention. Right? Let's jump into what that means for a second. Dreaming with intention. All right, we're going to engage our imagination into the realm of dreaming, right? All right, if we're going to be dreaming, where do we choose the things we're going to dream about? Where do we go shopping for content for our dreams? Yeah, Sarah.
I just had this beautiful image in my head. There was a post I did in our Facebook group recently with the neurons, and they were unhooking an old thought and then reaching out for a new one. And I was thinking, as you were talking, where do you find the dreams? Where do you reach for? And I was remembering seeing that video of that little neuron. He was like literally reaching way out and reaching out and around, and then the other little guy was reaching, and then they connected and that bridge was built and the signal went, and that was like tangible, creating the new pathway. But when you're trying to imagine and you hear people use it dismissively all the time, they're like, well, that's a reach. Exactly. This is the goal. Like that's the best compliment ever. Somebody says, well, that's a reach. Well, that means that it's a new creation that's reaching your little neurons forward in your brain, trying to forge some new idea, new. And that is creation. And that's what fuels the fire. So I was just imagining the little neurons reaching their little pieces out to grab. And I had to mention it.
Oh, I love that. Like one little neuron of the new idea is growing and reaching for a connection. The other neuron of the emotion attached is coming this way. And then, oh my God, they find each other and then build that bridge. And then we have a bigger experience. And then endorphins are released, serotonin is released. We experience the science of joy inside of our mind when those things happen. Then we're encouraged.
And then we write the feeling down and we know what it is and we visit it all the time, the way you visit a page in a magazine of the favorite thing that you want to buy one day when you have a lot of money, or that vacation pamphlet and you're looking at, Fiji or Magdalene Islands over and over and over again, and the page is worn. You're so familiar. By the time you get there, you're home. And you're totally comfortable. So yeah, you got to visit that feeling once you get it fired up and you get to swim around in that.
Well, so that makes me want to ask the question then, okay, here we are talking about, creation, tension, imagination, dream work. Okay, first of all, what is dream work? Second of all, have you done your dream work? I come from a career of show business where I was, having to create on demand on a schedule, right? Awesome. That means I get to jump in and create right here, right now, by Friday, be done, 3 o'clock, great big things, huge goals. And I don't get to say no, I get to say how. Most important right there. You get to say how to do your dream work. Now, dream work is incorporating your imagination of what you want, what you can, things you want to create, things you want to have, a new quality of life, a new pair of shoes, a new job, new money, whatever that might be for you. And then you get out your emotional toolbox and say, okay, which emotions do I choose to experience attached to this new dream, this new creation, this new thing I desire, right? And I'm going to put them together and then take a moment and experience putting those together. I'm going to have the idea of my dream, the chosen emotion with that dream, and then I'm going to put it together and stop and pause and remember cosmic memory from the past, or maybe chosen memory from the future about what you're creating. You attach your emotion to the creation, the desire you want, right? You think about what you want, and we manifest what we think about, right? Here's the power of imagination coming in. Now we get to make some stuff up here. Like sometimes we don't know what we want, we get to make it up. Sometimes when we're doing work with the superconscious and we're, learning how to be in the field, and all of a sudden we get this thing that pops in our head, and Chris and our other mentors are saying, great, grab onto that, don't judge it, make it up, talk about it, be present with your dream, be innocent with your dream, right? What a sweet place to be. What a really sweet place to be.
At that same time, you're saying, okay, dream and do this, and it sounds really lovely, but a lot of us haven't done it since we were 9 or 4 or whenever, when somebody said, oh, stop making stuff up. Oh, you like to tell a lot of tall tales. Very dismissive and very low value placed by society on the idea of innovation until much later in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you put imagination on the back burner, and you don't even necessarily can you call to mind how, and what kind of things can you think up? And the whole key when you're making stuff up, my favorite part of making stuff up, is that you're not writing a historical novel. You're writing fiction. It's pure fiction, and it's meant to be pure fiction. And once it's all crafted in the imagination, and you've come up with every wild plot twist you can think of, and you've got all of these little things going on, and you've fleshed out the story, you've developed the plot, you've developed the character, it's all kind of put together, and now you can really see it. It's so close you can taste it. You're totally associated with that dream now. You've got the visual, you can smell it. It's so close, it's right there. It's then that you can anchor that down with that feeling. And when you grab that dream and you hook it to a feeling, you've just landed it in your 3D. It's in your mind, it's manifest, you write it down on paper, it's a document. That's the first signs of what you imagined is real. And maybe it's not all put together yet, but it now exists where it did not exist before.
There you go.
So that making up thing is just, I defend that. Like, I'm just like, you bet I made it up. Mm-hmm. And oh, well, it's not practical. I didn't ask you for an opinion on what you feel is practical. Don't care. I made it up. And that's what I'm doing.
Right on.
But how? I don't care how. Not my problem how. I'm doing my thing. Right?
Now, let's make it up and go a step further. right? Because now dream work, a part of dream work is first do your dreaming and do the feeling attached to your dreaming. But then next step is to redream, revisit the dream, return to the dream. And on the second time, third time, fourth time through, more details come, more choices get to be made. You get to make up more cool things that go with the other cool things. You get to make it up some more. And as we dream in more vivid detail, as we harvest more vivid detail attached to what we want to create for ourselves in the world, right? Then the universe, source, whatever we want to call that, just goes, oh, more focus, more detail. Absolutely. When we hear about, okay, well, what about when your first dream comes true? Have you been thinking about dream 2, dream 3, dream 4? What happens when second dream has now come true, right? And I've got my focus into dream 6 and 7, maybe, right? I did the initial ask and said, okay, dream 1, this is what I want, and so it is. Now I'm going to try to get out of the way so it can actually happen. While I'm getting out of the way for dream 1 to actually happen, I'm going to decorate and revisit dream 2 and make it make more sense, make a closer connection to my heart and my desire, and add more emotional connect to why those dreams are important to me, why I love them. What about it makes me happy? What about my dreams makes my heart sing? Right, absolutely. So, because I think we don't worry about the how here. We talk about, we can get lost in the overwhelmingness of like, well, I have this gigantic dream, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. We don't have to worry about the how. We just worry about the end result. We step into the end result, and then the path is revealed. The path then becomes revealed. This is when dreams come true. All of a sudden, what we're thinking about, we manifest just like we always have. We're not doing this part any differently. Now we're just adding chosen details, chosen emotions, and choosing to feel them so that we can emotionally connect to that dream, connect to that new vision, and bring it closer faster.
You got me. I think it's got to do with some of the restrictions on traveling, but now all I'm thinking about this whole time is vacations and doing a thing. But it was all kind of making sense in what you were saying, that, if, because I was literally thinking about a vacation. It's like, okay, well, where would I want to go? And then how would I get there? And that's right when you said, well, who cares how? And I'm like, well, me, you know? And I'm thinking, okay, well, so if I wanted, let's say I wanted to go to just a country vacation. Well, that's a little vague. You can get in the car and you could go south. That's, you could do that, and you can go along and you go south and you're going to get somewhere. And it's cool. And I'm sure there's a couple good moments in there, and there's probably a few challenges, and it's fine. It's not at issue. But is it the thing you thought of? Or did you even take a minute to decide where you wanted to go before you got in the car and headed south? Because maybe west was the way, or maybe a little southeast, and maybe if it took a little bit more time, you would have found the place that you were going to rent, and then you could picture it, and then you would have known what to pack, and then you would have known what wasn't coming with you, and then you would have known what roads, what obstacles might be in the way. When's it going to be? Where do you slow down? Where do you take it? You can plan it a little bit, right? But best of all, if you've got a destination, you got a GPS like super conscious, right? You just take your destination, you plug in the destination, and you say, I'm going there. You no longer care how. It's going to give you the path of least resistance. It's going to tell you what road to take. You know the next turn. It says turn left there. You don't need to know anything else. You just make sure you turn left there, and it'll tell you the next step. And you just keep going, and it's fine. And you're going to have a more enjoyable experience because you know where you're going. You know how you get there. You know you're going the best way for what you want. You know you're landing at a destination you're looking for, and you're not spending 2 weeks roaming aimlessly around the Southeast because it seemed like a good idea when you got in the car. And that's the difference right there. You need to pick something. Doesn't even matter. But pick something that makes you really excited about living. Pick something that makes you want to jump up in the morning and get going. Pick something that reminds you that you matter and that you make things happen. Pick that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, nothing to be sorry about, Sarah. Nothing at all. So no, just to recap a little bit about these three main points of creation, tension, and imagination, and getting to, have you done your dream work, right? What it is to create, we get to. It's endless. We get to choose the wildness of the rich, wild menu. We can choose from that menu. Then there's an acknowledgement around creative structure and tension about how we focus and why it works. And I love to talk a little bit about science in how we think, because it grants us a permission to change. We're programmed to change. We get to evolve and change and grow, and we get to choose how we do that, right? We get to choose our emotions, right? And use them as tools. Choosing joy, for example. Choosing joy is such an important piece of the puzzle, because when you're joyful, all kinds of other things are a byproduct of joy, right? All of a sudden we feel better. All of a sudden we're calmer. All of a sudden, when we're vibrating at a higher place of joy and happiness, we're open to aha moments and inspiration. Then all of a sudden problems become challenges, just challenge. Oh, that's just the next challenge. How cool is that? Right. So as we move into this next little part here, this is an invitation to call to mind your desired feelings about your choices. And I'm going to say that again. This is an invitation to call to mind your desired feelings about your choices, right? And so as we move into this next part called the Dream Cafe, now this is a little meditation that we've created, to help step into the possibility of dreaming and emotion, right? This is a meditation that we've created to set up, a mindset that we do before lenses, that we can do before creating, as a way to remind us that there is always more on the menu. So we get to read the menu. We get to read the menu. Desserts are in the back, like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get stuck on the appetizer page, because I'm going to read through the pages of the cosmic menu, right? All right. So before we jump into this little meditation here, does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any feedback? Anybody have any support information? Anything else? Comments? Questions? Anybody? Anybody?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Laura.
Hi. I'm just listening to everything, and I have so many things coming to mind. And I'm really a big picture person, and I like to know how things work. And knowing how things work helps me to really dive in, and it validates the reason for the dreaming and the reason for, that I'm doing this, and it helps me to get in more deeply. From the very beginning, one of the things that came to mind was just so many of these, Chris talks all the time about standing on the shoulders of giants, and so many things are coming to mind. One of my favorite authors is Greg Braden. I mean, a lot of you probably know who Greg is, but he talks about an ancient form of prayer that is based in feeling. And he talks about this idea that you are practicing feeling the feeling of what it would be like if the prayer was already answered. And that's exactly what we're doing here. You are practicing the end result, the answered prayer, the desired reality. And we're not accustomed to doing that. We're accustomed to being on the side of wanting something and either desperately wanting it or needing it or asking for it. You know, it's coming from a place of weakness. And, you know, when I think of structural tension, you know, Robert Fritz is he's the author of this idea. We all feel that tension between the unanswered prayer and what we, you know, and the prayer that we want answered, right? We know what that feels like, but we get to choose how that resolves itself. We get to choose where we put the energy. We can put the energy in the end result, which is what you and Sarah are talking about so beautifully here, you know, creating those feelings, growing them. If we put our energy in the unanswered prayer, that's where that rubber band will pull us, right? And if we put the energy where, you know, where that answer is, and just, you know, ask and you shall receive, know that it's there, know that it will show up, you know, through our creative genius, through whatever it means, we don't need to know, then, you know, we get to choose how that resolves by choosing where our energy is placed. That helps me to understand that. So these people are really just demystifying how creation works, and we get to decide how we, you know, sort of manipulate that formula, right? So this is so beautiful. And Joe Dispenza is another one. He's, you know, yeah, he says the mere act of mental rehearsal begins to install the neurological circuits in your brain. And now your brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's a map to the future. And that's, you know, that's exactly what we're doing here. So the more, like, I love the science because it's a formula. I'm a math person. All I have to do is figure out these parts of the formula and just go with it. Now I'm going to dream because I know this is the formula. And if I put my energy on this side of the equation, it's going to happen. It's sure, you know. Chris says it's predictably creating. It's predictably and consciously creating what we want. So I just think this is, and you guys are just masters of describing that and growing that. That's been a harder part of the whole thing for me, to get into that feeling. And so I rely on, you know, you guys for that, you know, for really learning that, you know, how to feel my way into that future.
Yep. Well, thank you, Laura. You know, I like to nerd out on the science stuff too. Like I said a minute ago, it grants such a beautiful permission that when we understand that we're meant to evolve, we're meant to change. I'm the only thing stopping me, so I can get out of the way and let it happen. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. What a welcome home moment that is, right? All right. Well, what I'd like to do now is I'm going to invite you all to have a pen and paper handy. Feel free to jot down some notes to yourself, a little emotional harvest, as well as maybe a little dreaming harvest as we step into the Dream Cafe meditation. All right. And so if you just want to take a second here with me, Sarah, I've made you co-host so that I can think about the meditations. If you'd watch for, you know, co-host things while I'm doing this, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up here with us today. Welcome to the Dream Cafe. You know, this is a sweet love letter to yourself. So what is it to dream? To dream of what you love, to experience the things and places that make you feel bigger, feel brighter, feel happier. What I know is that most of us were taught, or we're not taught to do our dreaming with the best of practices. Most of us have done some dreaming here or there in some fashion. Some of us make our dreams come true with varying degrees of ease and grace. When we have not done our dreaming, we often struggle or feel stuck. And the root of that is not knowing what to do or where to go next. So many of us have simply not done enough dreaming, visualization, and consciously choosing our path. And that is not your fault. The people who raised you were more than not likely not taught to do their dreaming gigantically, and they did not know to teach you to do so. So how do you feel right now about your dreams? About the way you dream? About how often you dream? And in what measure of detail can you retell and relive those dreams? The great news is that dreaming and choosing a bigger and more detailed way begins right now. What often feels like a second chance of life is to dream in more detail than ever before. So much so that you actually feel as if the dream has already come true. That's living the dream, living the dream. So what is the dream? And what is the dream after the dream and the one after that? How are you dreaming now? What are you dreaming to create? And does it seem possible? So how do we make these dreams come true? We step into alignment with our dreams by experiencing them in the greatest and biggest way possible again and again, so that we can believe them and feel them into being. What are you choosing now? Are you running away from something or perhaps towards something? Where is your focus? And what are you creating with your focus? Our ego mind wants something new and different. Our subconscious mind limits and slows us down with a pile of deep personal safeguards. Our superconscious created all of it. All three parts of those things can be on the same team to make your dreams come true. How do you know what to choose? Explore, learn, search, observe, feel, and then choose. Read the menu. Explore bigger options. What makes you happy? Experience your choices without judgment. Your choices are yours and only yours. Do your choices serve the greater good, yourself, your reality, the world around you? Choose from a place of limitless childlike innocence. Choose from that place of love. We manifest what we think about exactly. Be aware of the words and images you are choosing and using in your self-talk. Clean up your quantum language. Word choices are very powerful and quite exacting to how the world manifests around you. So how are you asking for your dreams? Most of us haven't done our dreaming in a big way, so let's do some together right now. From here, we enter the dream circle together. The limousine has just delivered you to the grand lobby. The doorman and his hosts bring you inside past the marble pillars holding the massive floral arrangements across the grand hall to the crystal glass elevator, and in and up you go. The bell rings, the door opens on the top floor. You are now in the blue velvet receiving room of the Dream Cafe. Waiting here for you is the first of your special guests, your supreme guardian, who protects you in every moment with a watchful eye, ear, and heart. You are safe to dream gigantically. And second, your scribe, who harvests and keeps the details of wisdom and divine growth. Scribe, please keep the new dreams in recent memory and at the ready. And third, your superconscious, the very best and highest part of yourself, who created every aspect of you, who loves to change, who leads and gives clear directions to all other parts of yourself. Superconscious, please share the wisdom of true purpose and mission in the dreaming of today and every day with ease and grace. Thank you for dreaming with us today. Dreaming, imagination, creativity, emotions. These are the tools we are given. These are the tools we are oiling and cleaning and sharpening. These are the tools of your innate intelligence, your ultimate higher self, the part of you that created you. These are the tools with which you will dream and create. In using these tools, you will build a better relationship with your higher self. Your higher self is experiencing life without agenda. It created the container you are walking around in. It created your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your body. It can make deep and long-lasting changes and adjustments with the greatest access to the deepest parts of yourself. You can make requests. You can call on your higher self. It is not external, it is within you, the essence of you. You can ask yourself to help yourself, and this is where the magic happens. Everyone, please take one big breath for your physical body. Take a second breath. Relax your mental body. And a third breath to step into your center. From here, I invite us all to step into our full potential, for we are magnificent, we are powerful, we are compassionate, and we are self-loving. Please feel free to take some notes and make some lists as we share together in the Dream Cafe. I invite those deep parts of us to the inner circle that protect us, that thrill us, that scare us, that delight us, and that hold us with each breath we take. The guardian who protects us in every moment, the scribe who harvests the details of wisdom so that we do not forget. Please also bring your dreamer to the table. Choose to make make the choice to harvest the wisdom from your dreamer, for there is so much to be shared with you. Ask for the bigger dream behind the first dream, to see the path beyond to even bigger dreams. Dreaming beyond the first dream makes the first dream come into reality so much faster. Do the dreaming and then dream again. What do you want to create for yourself right now for no other reason than you really love it? What would you absolutely love to appear in your life now? Things around financial abundance, perhaps. Dreams about family and tribal relations. Dreams about fitness, health, vitality. Dreams about fulfillment and self-love. I invite you all to come inside the Dream Cafe. Your table awaits. Your service staff is ready. The maitre d' greets you and takes your coat, guides you to the lounge and serves you fine beverages with the rest of your special guests. And more are arriving. The next to come in is your innocent child, with the ability to dream into action all limitless possibilities with joy and playfulness. And your mentors, your teachers, your support team, they all arrive and they are also served. We now invite any other person, idea, belief, tool, or energy wanted or needed to join us in the dreaming of today, and they too are served. With everyone here, I ask that we consider the 4 circle agreements. I will read them each twice. 1, personal material shared in the circle remains confidential. Personal material shared in the circle remains confidential. We listen with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We listen with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. From time to time, we pause to regather our thoughts and focus. From time to time, we pause to regather our thoughts and focus. Thank you, one and all. The maitre d' announces, your private boardroom is ready. The table is set and the staff awaits. Please come in. Take your seats around the grand table. As you all take your seats, in front of you, there is finery, flowers, candelabras, china, linens, beautiful music, and the beverages of your choice. Beautiful appetizers and handmade creations are set in front of each named place setting. Each special guest has their own waiter at the ready. The great team of waiters are now handing out the cosmic menu, handcrafted for your event. The master creator, chef, and staff are busy creating for you now. As you receive and open the menu, please experience the menu. See in your hand, see in your mind, and feel every memory item. There is always more at the ready to complement your first choice in all the choices that will follow. And the maitre d' speaks again. We have created a list of very special items specifically for you on the menu tonight. Please allow me to offer and explain what the artisans and creators have prepared for this evening's event. First special of the evening, ridiculous laughter. I invite you to remember a time when you were laughing, and not just laughing, but cracking up, full-on goofball giggles, belly laughter so big that it is contagious. The room is laughing now, breathless laughing. Where are you now? Who is laughing with you? And who now joins you in the laughing? Laughing makes for bigger laughing, and laughing makes for sighing. And now the sigh that comes after laughing. The second special of the night, your favorite color. What is your favorite color? See it, choose it, go inside it, vibrate with it. Paint your very own room with your bliss paint. And now see the room all around, finished and perfect. See your life's collection of treasures in front of this color. Decorations pop in front of this color. Morning light waking up in this color. Evening sunset reflecting off of this color. And candlelight warming this color. And now consider your favorite foods. Oh, think of them. Remember every delicious detail. Your comfort foods, your belly-warming foods, cool, crisp, and refreshing food, delightfully sour, simply sweet, creamy, rich, expensive, special and celebratory foods, pretty, gorgeous eye candy foods. Picture your favorite 3-course meal, wonderful proteins, incredible vegetables, amazing starches. Think of your sacred spice, your collected and cherished ingredients, your traditional recipes, your feel-good foods. Also on the menu tonight, your favorite places. Please see and feel in your mind sunsets, full moons, no moon, dark sky with shooting stars, wind on your skin, the smell of rain, gigantic, slow-falling snowflakes, fireplaces, water, rivers, oceans, beaches, mountaintops, and pine trees, deserts and valleys, campfires and hot springs, cities, towns, streets, parks, and secret getaways. And now we have On the menu, health and vitality, your perfect health and ideal body. See yourself in the cosmic mirror with your ideals and goals achieved. How do you see your ideal body, your ideal weight, your ideal appearance, your ideal feeling inside your body? What is your ideal body? What makes you feel attractive, sexy, handsome, beautiful? Notice the glow and light coming off of you, from you, rising above you. So beautiful, healthy, confident, thriving. And now on the menu, feelings, our emotions. How do you want to feel? Are you experiencing a balance of all the emotions? Are you aware of emotions you would like more of, or perhaps less of? What makes you happy? What brings you joy? What inspires you? How do you feel love? How is excitement helpful? When do you feel peace? What calms you down? What excites you? When are you the most powerful? And how does that feel? Are you remembering your chosen emotions and experiencing those emotions? What are your favorite things to feel? Also on the menu, very special tonight, very special guest, money. And not just money, but more money, and more than enough money, with a new set of money rules learned and activated. And with that comes the possibility of dreaming about an abundance of money bigger than ever before. Gifting money, legacy, trust funds, inheritance, philanthropy, divine abundance. How will you choose to share your abundance? Also on the menu tonight, the dream vacation. Think of your ideal luggage with the essential favorite things. First class, countries. How many stamps are in your passport? How many more are desired? Fancy hotels, valets and room service, fine linens, presents, gifts, surprises, bathing, bathrobes and huge towels, your most favorite spa, hot tubs, German sauna, a massage retreat center, treatments and facials, self-care, steam rooms with lemon iced towels, Japanese bathhouse, Turkish bathhouse. Not to forget, we also have adventures of all sorts, expeditions to the wonders of the world, art, culture, history, excitement, calm, rest, rejuvenation, inspiration. And saving the best for last in the menu tonight, the dream of your future self having achieved and standing before you today. The maitre d' sets a new place at the table next to you. Can you see your future self entering the room and joining you at the table? What are you wearing? Can you see the learning and confidence in your eyes? Can you see the willingness to share and help you in the here and now? What do you need? What do you desire? How does your future self appear to you now? What is your future self wearing? How do you stand? Where are you hanging out now and with whom? How can your future self share and help you now to manifest the dreams they have already achieved? Your future self is here to help you, share with you, along with all the special guests and their gifts here at the table today and every day. Your dreamer is here and seeing the dreams clearly and bigger than ever before. Your inner child with the superpower of limitless imagination is playing with your dreamer. Your mentors and teachers with their wisdom and passion stand to support your new dreams. Your team on your inner circle are seeing your dream and sharing in your creation. Your superconscious is in a new constant communication with you in every moment. All of your very special guests are here for you to engage and share in conversations of dreams becoming manifest in the here and now. Take a pause. How do you feel now? How does it feel to have this support and wisdom available to you? Please make the choice to engage the new board of directors at the table here to serve you now. How does it feel in your mind? How does it feel in your belly? How does it feel in your spirit? Step in and really feel. Welcome this person who you are becoming. Who is this person now? From where does the decisions of creation begin now? This person with this wisdom is in charge. This person gets to. You get to. This person is the who creates your lenses. This is the person who reads the amazing menu and then makes the choices. This is the person who surrenders the things once cherished that no longer serve in trade for the new values that create new beliefs, that create new behaviors that set our mission into action. All choices, old and new, without question, have a deep root in positive intent. We made them, we can change them. The cosmic menu: dreams, desires, delights. Often when our dreams are the light at the end of a dark tunnel, once through the tunnel, we are able to dream even bigger, better, and with more joy. As we do our dreaming and add true feeling and emotion to having those dreams arrive, we stand taller in the world for all to see. Our families and tribe will see and learn and dream for themselves just by being close to you. First, desire. Second, believe it now. Third, expect it, look for it, welcome it. Desire, believe, expect. What is it to make a true choice? It's about love. Love is the root of a dream. What do you love? What would you love to have now? What will you create next? From here, with our special guests at the table, we dream, we choose, and we activate a plan. A very special menu handed to you is yours to keep, to add to dream forward with. It is the notebook of creation. Read it often. Write in it with light in your heart. Refer to it to keep the dream dreaming. Desire, believe, expect. Desire, believe, expect. Now take a breath for your body. And now take a breath for your mind. And now take a breath for your spirit. Thank you for coming to the Dream Cafe. Please come again, and please dream often. All righty.
Welcome back from the Dream Cafe. And I would like to remind you, have you call to mind, the power is the choice. So turning a cold shoulder, choosing to turn a cold shoulder to being a victim of problems. Choosing instead now a genius creator and a manifester. So we invite you to create. Dream the impossible dream. Lock in on those end results and visit that emotion often. Prioritize getting acquainted with the feeling for what goes with that, but the lifestyle and the environment. So we know this works. We invite you to try it. And we invite you to take those dreams you just dreamed and those ideas and put them in your pocket. We invite you to print out and set the intention to work through the lenses workbook. Make a plan. Anyone who's in our Genius Hub group, this is a quick reminder. We're going to be getting together same channel, same time, Saturday, and we're going to fill out the lenses together. But if you're not in the Genius Hub, these documents, the emotion wheel, they're going to be in the Super Conscious Creators group. Print them off and try.
Mhm.
So thank you all for joining us. We're so glad you were able to come this evening. Corey?
Let's just do a quick little open the circle. You know, how is everybody doing? Where are you at? Let's have a little go around. You know, let's hear from our peeps about what just happened. Maybe a couple aha moments from today. How are you guys doing out there? Anybody want to pop in? Yeah, hi,
I'm
Jim.
doing pretty
Come on in,
good.
yeah.
I'm still feeling pretty dreamy after all that Dream Cafe.
Excellent. Excellent. And what was your aha moment from today, Jim? Like, what's your takeaway from today?
I've got lots of dreaming to do.
Yes. And you get to.
Yes.
And then redream it.
Yep.
Right.
Anybody else? You guys want to pop in? All right. All right. Well, you know, I just wanted to, as a recap, you know, man, how cool to talk about creation, tension, imagination, and dreaming. Wow.
Hi, sorry, I think Euphema wanted to say something.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm sorry if I mispronounced.
no, thanks, Jenny. Go for it.
No, that's perfect. I just want to say thank you so much. Very first time. I love everything that you guys said. It clicked more of everything I've been learning. So it was more clear. And yeah, that's right. I had to keep on doing my lenses.
Well, lenses are important. Yeah. Well, Euphema, what was
Yes,
an
they
aha
are.
moment today? Like, what's a light bulb that came on for you today?
Actually, it was many. It was many. But the most important is that I had to get together and meet with all of the peers and share, because all this knowledge is not just for one person. We have to share it. And I love you guys did this, and it's just amazing. I love it.
Right on.
And
Well,
I
welcome
really
home.
wish I can have the strength to do it.
Oh, you do. We got you. We got you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
last time I did this with you,
Thank
Corey,
you.
I fell asleep. But this time, I was fully present, and I noticed a lot of different things.
Yeah, like what? What did you notice, Patrick?
Just like when the inner child came in, he was really playful. So I guess just have fun with what I'm doing.
Well, that's a lot of it. You know, choosing to have fun, choosing to be in joy as we work, bringing joy and happiness to our work, I think is amazing. You know, maybe
Totally.
in my own life, instead of hard work, I think playful work. You know, I want to play at work. I want to be happy at work. I want to work and be proud and giggly and fun. And I want time to fly as I work. You know, I think those are all parts of our puzzle here. Yeah. So a call to our mindset about dreaming. You know, like when we created this work, you know, there was a need before lenses to step into the possibility of dreaming, the potential of dreaming. And now there's these awesome opportunities to talk about, okay, well, how do you dream? How do you really do that work? And so this is our first shot at saying, okay, here's some tools to dreaming. Here's some tools to create the tension to make it possible, step into imagination, make it up, and then dream work. Do your dream work, spend time loving yourself enough to do your dreaming. Please do your dreaming. Please do. Any final thoughts, Sarah, Laura, Ginny? Ginny's a Magneticor person too. Hi.
Hi, Ginny.
Hi. Hi, sweeties. Oh, I love this. You know, I always love my sort of invitation to the Dream Cafe. I love being on the guest list. It took me a while to learn how to dream, to actually allow the dreaming, and you know, the whole thing that Sarah mentioned earlier about the emotion wheel and actually really understanding the feeling element of it. And I think with all the coaching that we've shared and all the experiences that we've had, and as we've come together, it's so, so beautiful. And even now, every time I step into the Dream Cafe, the menu excites me every time now. I always get excited, you know, and what's it going to look like now? You know, how's it going to show up? So thank you again, Corey.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
for that
My pleasure,
beautiful
Ginny.
experience.
My pleasure, as always.
And those emotions, you know, we've practiced those ones that we don't like so much. They're so familiar. And, you know, let's dive into exploring the ones we're not so familiar with, the ones we, you know, the joy, like grow it, grow it, grow it. And Dream Cafe just grows the joy for me. I had a hard time with it at the beginning, but now to me, it's just about allow more, you know. Just allow, because this is true, because it works, because we know how creation works, you know. We're not convincing ourselves of that anymore. Now it's like, well, what are we going to do with that? Anything we want, right? Anything at all. So
Right on.
I thought this was a really beautiful meditation. One thing that it brought to me is, as we were sitting there and all of these people are surrounding us to kind of serve us what we want on the menu, I really had a hard time with that. I think it's because I'm usually the one of service. And so to allow people to serve me, I was like really taken back by that. Just that allowing, and it kind of took me a second to get into it and say, wow, all of these people are here to facilitate what I want and my dreams and my goals. And it was really, really a beautiful transition and a good awareness to say, hey, it's okay to allow yourself to be served.
Wow, Trisha, right on. You know, a little call out to what it is to actually receive the dream. Good on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Good
so thank
on
you very much.
Yeah. You know, that was one of the things I thought about halfway through today. You know, it's like, man, we didn't talk about the ability to receive dreaming, but it's like, my God, we have so many things already on the plate. I'm not going to throw it down. So, but you brought it up. Right on. Right on, Trisha. Nice to see you here, dear. Yeah. All right.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up this session? Any last little closing nuggets, anybody? Anything? Okay, cool. Well, just as a reminder, you know, this is Let's Talk on Magneticor. This is our free group where we're going to be doing, you know, some pretty cool content. We're committed to do this once a week, and we're going to be doing it for a good long time. And this is the precursor to our membership site called Genius Hub, which happens at the same time on Saturdays. And day after tomorrow, we're going to be working on the new version of lenses. We've created a new version. So those of you in Genius Hub, make sure you get the link and print the new version. They're a little bit different than the Magnetic Mind. We've added a couple of really golden nuggets to it. It's pretty similar, but it's a little different. And I think it's going to help us teach the lenses as well. You know, we get to do them, but it also helps us teach them, so that we can embody them and breathe life into lenses, bringing dreaming into lenses. Any last minute nuggets, Sarah?
That was just so lovely.
Right.
You know, I did notice as well, there was just a bit of a difference in the receiving energy, in that feminine energy, in the allowing, and in the incubation of that dream, and being able to hold it and hold that tension and know that it's coming is surprisingly a little more challenging this round. But I do notice that it's it's balancing out every time I do the Dream Cafe.
Right.
It's like one little bit more challenging on the masculine energy and the action, like what to do and what steps to take. And then I'll do it again and a little bit more challenging on how would I receive that and and doing that allowing. And I've noticed that doing this over time and getting more accustomed to the idea, normalizing my imagination, normalizing my dream, and being willing to just scratch stuff off and come up with something new because that's fun. That has been something that has balanced out all of my energy.
Right on.
So yeah, I just adore this, and I can't wait to dig into lenses on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful, and we're gonna be getting into a lot of other concepts in and around creative tension, around the human journey, self-sabotage, you know, epigenetics, how your mind works, how thoughts get processed, what we can do with that.
So fun.
There's so much information. So every Thursday we're going to be here. And if any of our regulars have a suggestion that they want to throw in the hat for a topic,
Let us know.
we would love to tackle it. So we can be found on Facebook.
Right on. So with that, here's to the pleasure of unresistant thought. Here's to the invitation to call to mind your desired feelings about your choices. Here is to what it is to dream for ourselves. Here is, a thank you for you all being here. Thank you for bringing your tender warrior hearts into the field and playing full out with us today. And thank you for dreaming. Thank you for dreaming. Thank you for stepping up in front of your own tribe and dreaming so that we continue and teach this work far into the world beyond us. All right, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye and turn off the recording. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been awesome, and we'll see you next time.